Hello everyone! Welcome to our channel, the Enchanted Luxury Studio, where we talk about wealth and luxury. Money has its own vocabulary, and in case you want to learn how to speak it, you have clicked the right video. Here are the words rich people use. Asset and liability. An asset is something of value that constantly generates money for you. A liability, on the other hand, is something that constantly costs you money. The house you are renting is an example of a liability. Each month, you have a rental fee to pay. Valuation. A value is a measure of what something is worth. Usually pertains to a company or business. This is why people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are worth so much. These people don't have hundreds of billions of dollars in the bank, but the companies they own have extremely high valuations, and since they own a chunk of it, they are worth so much money. This is called paper wealth. Interest. Now, this is a term that is entirely different between the poor and the rich. For poor people, interest is the payable amount of money that comes with the loan. In the case of rich people, interest is what the other party, usually a bank or company, pays them at the end of a loan agreement. Cash flow. Cash flow determines how much money comes in or goes out each month. This is the metric rich people use to evaluate a business or a real estate investment. ROI or return of investments. Rich people love to talk about the return on investment or ROI. So how does this work? Let's say you invest $1 million in a vintage car. Years later, you decided to sell it for $1.5 million. The $500,000 is your return of investment. Deductible. Expenses that can be deducted from your taxes are considered deductible. Rich people, for example, do not purchase their cars individually, but rather have the company do it for them. So all the tax payments related to the car can be written off. The same goes for traveling, buying tech equipment, and even dining out. Deducting these expenses allows rich people to avoid paying taxes on them. Offshore tax haven. When rich people refer to offshore, they usually mean a company registered abroad in order to take advantage of lower tax rates. A tax haven is a place, usually a country, where companies and individuals are not required to pay taxes. Examples of this are Monaco, Cayman Islands, United Arab Emirates, and many more. Dubai's real estate market has become increasingly popular over the past few years because of this incentive. Hedge fund. A hedge fund is an investment institution where rich people pool money together and it gets invested with the purpose of generating higher returns. Monetize. Rich people tend to monetize everything. It refers to figuring out ways to get financially rewarded for an action. Allowing ads to run through your YouTube videos is a concrete example of monetization. The network effect. A unique property where the more people use something, the more value it creates. For example, social networks benefit from network effects. The more people that are unlinked, the more valuable being unlinked is. The more people who drive Tesla, the smarter the self-driving algorithm becomes. The higher the incentive to buy a Tesla is, and so on. Pivot. In the event that a business idea doesn't work out as expected, you change direction and venture to something else. Unicorn. A company that is valued at over $1 billion is a unicorn. Incentive. Incentive refers to something that motivates or encourages one to do something. You can look at it as a payment or concession to stimulate greater output or investment. Liquidity. Liquidity means how quickly you can get your hands on your cash. In simpler terms, liquidity is to get your money whenever you need it. Anti-fragile. the ability of a company or a business to survive and grow under stress, to not only be resilient but to potentially grow stronger when threat happens. It means dealing with random situations and unpredictability without being damaged. Short. With rich people, it's not about height. Instead, in simple terms, it's a financial bet that the stock of a company will go down. Quarter. This is not pertaining to a coin. An entire year is divided into 4 quarters, each consisting of 3 months. Terms like Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 are often used by rich people when discussing how well their business are doing quarter to quarter. Go ahead and get your favorite beverage and popcorn. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Arbitrage. Arbitrage is the practice of taking advantage of price differences between two markets. If an apple sells for $1 in one market and $1.50 in another, you can arbitrage the position by buying all the apples for $1 and quickly selling them for $1.25. Exposure. Rich people refer to exposure as having skin in the game. This means investing your money in something and getting exposed to the industry. Gratitude. As you become richer, you should be more grateful for everything good in your life. Despite the fact that 95% of millionaires are self-made, a feeling of gratitude towards life still pervades them. Their newfound reality has made them grateful. In order to stay grounded, wealthy people remind themselves constantly how good their life is. Collaboration. Collaborating is something rich people love to do. When two parties collaborate, the result is often greater than the sum of the individual contributions. Working together is more beneficial than working alone. Retreat. This doesn't pertain to giving up or withdrawing from a fight. This retreat refers to a means of escape for rich people. They do this to deal with burnout and mental and physical health. A 2-week retreat is a good way for rich people to reconnect with themselves. Values. Values are everything to rich people. It is not possible to do business with someone who doesn't share the same core values as you. Commodity. Goods that are interchangeable and easy to purchase and sell. Example of this are commodities like copper, coffee, gold, oil, and natural gas. Escrow. Escrow is a trusted third party that holds both ends of the deal and allows the transaction to go through once certain conditions have been fulfilled. When buying a house, the buyer sends the money. On the other hand, the seller sends the documents. And if the inspections for the property are in order, the sale is pursued. Evangelist. A person who raises awareness and establishes a network of users for specific products or services is called an evangelist. They are usually the founders of certain businesses who were able to build a new standard inside an industry. Among the evangelists in the world of businesses today are Michael Saylor, an evangelist of Bitcoin, and Elon Musk, an evangelist of electric cars. Bearish and bullish. These terms are used when talking about the stock market. A bear market is when the entire stock market is going down. A bull market is when the stock market is going up for extended periods of time. Rich people have adopted these terms to express what they think about a particular engagement. When you're bullish about a certain business deal, that means you think things are going well. Bootstrap. Bootstrapping refers to getting things done with only the available tools and creative solutions. It means you try to make things work without any external help. In many cases, companies that are considered bootstrap are less likely to make more money. Seed money, also known as seed funding or seed capital. This is a form of security offering in which an investor invests capital in a startup business in exchange for an equity stake or convertible note stake in the company. Portfolio. This refers to all the business engagements one is currently tangled to. Usually contains the number of investments and assets of a person or a company. Disrupt. It is a common desire for rich people to disrupt an industry. It means doing things differently in order to challenge the way things have always been done. Upon doing so, a new standards is set. This leads us to the next word. Status quo. It refers to the way the things that are currently done or the existing state of affairs. Challenging the status quo is what rich people usually do in order to further their success. There you have it, words that rich people use. Have you heard of any of them in the past? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching!